Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, my dear brothers and sisters in Islam. Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een. Amma ba'd, rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa halul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Welcome to episode 13, where we discuss some of the ways to connect with the book of Allah. And inshallah, from today, for a few episodes, we will look at the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses the numbers to communicate the hidden treasures of the mathematical miracles in the Quran. And inshallah, we will reinstate the tadabbur again in the last ashra of the Ramadan. As per the scholars, they say that there are 4 types of direct challenges to the mankind and jinn in the Quran, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is challenging to produce something similar to what He has revealed from up above the 7 heavens. So the first time challenge is to produce the like of the Quran in Surah Isra. Like of the Quran in Surah Isra. And inshallah, we will look more deeper into this in the subsequent slide. Second time, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reduces the challenge. So instead of the full book, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling to bring 10 surahs. Now listen, to bring 10 surahs, there should be a comparison. And those 10 surahs should exist in the order of the book. So now if you reflect on this verse, it is in chapter number 11. Perfect placement after 10 chapters for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to challenge about the 10 surahs. The third time Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reduces the challenge further and says to bring in a surah, a single chapter. Firstly in Surah Baqarah and then in Surah Yunus. And again Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if you reflect in Surah Baqarah, Surah Baqarah has to have the challenge of one surah because it is second in the order of Musaf. Beautiful. And the fourth time Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reduces the challenge further by saying it to produce a statement or a words like it. So if you can see, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala using the numbers. He's using the numbers. As we said in the previous slide, this verse in Surah Isra is Allah challenging to produce a Quran like it. And if you count the words in this verse, they are 19. And by the way, number 19 is one of the miraculous numbers in the Quran, and inshallah we'll cover in the subsequent episodes. For now, let's focus here. So number of words is 19. Number of letters, total number of letters in this verse is 76. And the overall letters which are used, the overall letters of Arabic, right, which are used in this verse is also 19. Right? Is also 19. Now if you sum this up, and if you can quickly sum this up, if you have, then what is the number you're getting? Right? It should be 114. 114. And subhanallah, this is the Makki surah. Makki surah. So through this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is also kind of challenging to produce 114 chapters of the Quran like this. Beautiful. Beautiful. So what is our key takeaway? Now in the ayah of Ramadan, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives 3 purposes of Ramadan, which is to complete the count, meaning complete the entire month of fasting, then declare the glory of Allah to provide the ease and guidance in this month, which then naturally should enable us to meet our third purpose, is to thank Allah, to be grateful of Allah abundantly. In summary, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying by keeping the count, it will help us to recognize Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as our authority in our life by the end of the month, leading us to the complete submissions to His guidance, resulting in making Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as our priority for the remainder of 11 months, insha'Allah. And that is the purpose of Ramadan, to make Allah as our priority. To make Allah as our priority is the ultimate purpose of Ramadan. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to enable us to achieve the real purpose of Ramadan, so that we exit this beautiful month by making Him as our priority in our life for the full year. Barakallahu li wa lakum fil Quran al-Kareem. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Jazakumullahu khairan.